Imagine a day when 20 million people across Britain paused everything, just to watch history unfold, not a war, not a political scandal, but a crown being placed on the head of a young woman. It was June 2, 1953. The world was still recovering from the Second World War. Cities were rebuilding. Families were mourning. Rationing was still a daily reality in Britain. But on that rainy Tuesday morning, something changed. Something hopeful. Westminster Abbey stood solemn and grand, adorned with banners, gold, and centuries of tradition. Inside, a 27-year-old Elizabeth prepared to take an oath that would shape the rest of her life. But what made this coronation different from every royal ceremony? Before it was the cold metal object hanging above the altar, not the crown, but a television camera. For the first time in history, a coronation would be broadcast live to millions. It was a bold decision. Many in the royal household were horrified. They feared that revealing the sacred rituals of monarchy would damage its mystique. But Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, insisted. He believed that for the monarchy to survive the new age, it had to be seen. Across the UK, people scrambled to buy or borrow television sets. Sales of TVs skyrocketed in the weeks leading up to the event. Families crowded into small living rooms, neighbors gathered around shop windows. For many, it was the first time they had seen their monarch in motion. The ceremony itself was filled with ancient symbolism. Elizabeth swore an oath to uphold the law and the Church of England. She was anointed with oil, shielded from the cameras, as that moment was deemed too sacred to be televised. She was handed the orb, the scepter, and finally, the St. Edward's crown was lowered onto her head. Outside the Abbey, cheers erupted. In streets across London, and in distant corners of the British Commonwealth, from Canada to India to South Africa, crowds erupted in applause. Not just for a new queen, but for a renewed sense of identity. Elizabeth's coronation wasn't just a royal affair. It was a cultural turning point. A defining moment when tradition met modernity. When 1,000 years of royal ritual was projected through glowing black and white screens into modern homes. But it wasn't easy for the Queen. Behind her calm expression, she felt the weight, both literal and symbolic, of the crown. It weighed 5 pounds. But the duty, responsibility, and expectation it represented? Far heavier. Yet, she carried it. For over 70 years, she became a living symbol of continuity. Through political crises, wars, changing governments, and global upheaval, she remained a constant. And it all began that rainy day in June. A day when a young woman stepped into the pages of history, not with a sword or revolution, but with silence, tradition, and a crown. Thank you for watching Trivia Tales. If you want more untold moments from history that shaped our world, don't forget to subscribe.